皆さんこんにちは、ブラダです。今日のトピックは Inferential Claiming。皆さんこんにちは、ブラダです。今日ですね、want to talk about inferential claiming. And inferential claiming, the term inferential comes from the word for inference, or to infer something. And to make an inference is to make a conclusion that's drawn from evidence and reasoning. There are more complicated definitions, but that's a pretty simple one that relates to our topic today. So inferential claiming is a situation, a claim you have in your patent application or in your patent, where the reader must draw a conclusion about the scope of the claim. So, for example, if a feature is part of the invention or not part of the invention. And the problem with this is that different readers of the claim draw different conclusions about the scope of the claim. So, for example, you may have A-san read the claim, and then feature A is in the claim, and then B-san reads the claim, and then feature A is not in the claim. So, some readers believe a feature is part of the invention, while others do not believe it's part of the invention. And so, if some readers of the claim believe a feature is part of the invention and others do not, the scope of the claim can change depending on who is reading the claim. And this is basically the definition of indefiniteness. The scope is not consistent, right? So the result of inferential claiming in the USPTO is you will basically get a rejected claim or an invalid patent claim for indefiniteness. So during prosecution, that would be a 112B rejection, for example. And here's an example of a case that this language, this claim, was found invalid for indefiniteness. So this was a patent situation, and the invention was a defibrillator, and I'll show you a picture on the next slide of it. But the language here that's important to notice is the red text. The red text is the inferentially claimed feature. So these features are not directly claimed. They are indirectly claimed, and the court found that the scope of this claim is not ascertainable. So this is an indefinite claim because the guiding via electrodes language, it's unclear, are the electrodes part of the invention or not part of this claimed invention here. So the example is a defibrillation port for guiding via electrodes the stored charge to a person. So the feature being claimed here directly is a defibrillation port. But part of the features of the defibrillation port seems to be the electrodes, but the electrodes are not being claimed directly. It's not comprising electrodes. It's comprising a defibrillation port for guiding via electrodes the stored external charge to a person. So the court found that the guiding via electrodes language was inferentially claimed, and therefore it was invalid, indefinite. So here's a picture. Figure 1 is from the actual case, and then on the right side there, that's an example of a defibrillator, automatic defibrillator device. You can find these in the train stations or in a lot of different buildings around Tokyo or other places in Japan. So if you look at figure 1, the electrodes are elements 104 and 108. I put red boxes on them there. So those elements, it's unclear if it's part of the defibrillation port or the claim itself. So the applicant was trying to claim those electrodes, but the problem was because they claimed a defibrillation port, and then they claimed the electrodes as part of the purpose of the port. So the purpose of the port is for guiding via electrodes the charge. But it wasn't, the guiding via electrodes is not directly claimed, so therefore 104 and 108, it's unclear if those electrodes are part of the claim. So if it's unclear, the claim is indefinite. Okay. Well, I hope that could be useful for you today. If you have any more questions or need any more information, I would suggest check out the website, gzitv.com. Also have other YouTube channel stuff there and some other information about training and those things. And I will see you in the next video.